Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the morning show. So normally I channel books with people, and that is what we do every single morning. And you know what? The spot got cleared this morning. And so here we are. We are here. I don't have a guest for my morning show. So first of all, I'm opening up that if anybody here wants to pop in and channel a book with me, I'd be more than happy to bring you live right here on the show, and we can channel your book with you. Now I know that can be super intense last minute, so feel into it. Instead, right now, I want to just kind of drop into our hearts together, and let's see what we can create in this space. So the invitation's out. I see a few of you on here. If you'd like to jump in and channel your book with me right here, right now, I have an open spot. Otherwise, let's jump in and do the sacred creative process together. And then let's see what shows up for us to do this morning, this beautiful space that we have together. So what is the sacred creative process? If you have been watching the morning show, you watch that I do the same practice every time before we channel someone's book. So what that is it's a way of tethering yourself to the divine and moving from being human into your highest divine self. So I call it like the entrance into channeling. And so that it's not like the only way. There are lots of ways. It's just the way that works for me. It's the way that I feel like I was divinely taught. So this is just the practice that I use. So let's do it together. I want each one of you to practice this with me today. And then know that this is just the entrance into channeling. So if you wanted to create today, you wanted to create your podcast, you wanted to do a live video on Instagram, you wanted to write an Instagram post, you wanted to write an article, anything that's going to awaken the creation inside of you, awaken the creator inside of you. If you use the sacred creative process every single time, what happens is we trigger our minds to know when we are opening up to receive. So just like smell can bring back a memory, just like smell can make you feel a certain way, we use the same smell every single time we do this process. Because what happens is now, if you've done this process so many times, you can just smell the smell and your body just moves into the state of receiving. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. You're welcome to jump in and ask questions as we're talking about this today. But I want you to feel the difference. We don't walk around just like in receiving mode all day. We're not like, okay, give me answers. I mean, you might, and that's super powerful. But most of the time, we're in our heads. We're focusing on our to-do list. We're focusing on what needs to happen next. We're focusing on putting out fires, or we're focusing on our calendar of things to do. That's not the mode of receiving. So that's where we usually live as a human. We live in our minds. Now, when we drop in to receive, well, that's a different state of being. So the smell helps you trigger that state of being easier. So this is my smell. I love the smell of rosemary. Also, if you know my story, you know that I lost my sense of smell. I don't know. I think we're coming up on like 7 years. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had my sense of smell. We have no idea why I lost it. I'm always doing healing work around it. But what's very interesting is that rosemary is the only smell that I can smell. And rosemary is the smell. So there are people who have gifts of vision, like their gifts are seeing. Some people have the gifts of hearing. Some people have the gifts of smell. And so interesting enough that whenever I experience the Divine Mother present with me, rosemary is the smell that I smell. So obviously this is my smell for channeling. It's connected to a spiritual experience for me, and it is the only smell I can smell. So there you go. This is why I use rosemary. Also, if you were to look up the spiritual properties of rosemary, it is very divine. It's very spiritual. Awakens your gifts. My invitation is that you find a smell that you love. A smell that Every time you smell it, it feels good, but it has to be something that you're not using all the time. Like if you use lavender a lot on your muscles, don't use lavender for channeling. We need it to be specific to this practice. And the reason being is that because you use this smell only when you do the sacred creative process, you can use this smell at any time and it'll drop you into receiving, which is really what we want to do. We want to build your muscle of receiving, of spiritually receiving. That way you can be driving down the road and you can receive. You can receive answers, you can receive pieces of your book. Like this is a very important muscle to the work that I do, and also I think just to us like living. If we can be in the mode of receiving, life gets a lot easier. So we start with our oil and you place it on your palms. And I know you see this every day when we do the book channeling, but I run through it so fast. So today I thought we would just dive in. So I want you to breathe in. Then you're going to breathe out. And I really let the smell soak into my body. So just letting all of my cells receive it. I like to put it on my neck, maybe behind my ear, a little bit on my forehead and jaw. Just letting that smell be in my energy field. So I always start with smell. So I want you, if you have smell, just breathe it in. And then we're going to imagine this beautiful light above the crown of our head. So right here, this is your crown chakra. This is the chakra that allows you to be open to receive from the divine. So I want you to imagine that there's this brilliant light, the brightest, delicious light possible. And we're going to breathe the light in through the crown of our head, and it's going to come down, and the first breath, it's going to clean out the system. So what does that even mean? That means that we pick up energy as humans. We're like lint rollers. We just pick up energetic pieces and particles like lint. And we pick it up because we're empathic. We pick it up because we're human. We pick it up because we live with other humans. It's very hard to not pick up other people's energy. So we're going to clean it out. We don't want anybody else's energy in your body when you're going to be open to receiving. We want it to be only yours. And so that's what this first breath is. So do this with me. You're going to breathe the light in. And you're going to breathe it out. We're just going to imagine the light going through your system, cleaning, cleansing, clearing everywhere inside of you. Anything that's not yours, we're going to ask that the light will clean it off of your body, that it will move out through the soles of your feet and into the earth. Now we're going to breathe the light in again. And this time we're going to allow the light to go within all the crevices inside of your body, waking up your gifts. So we want to wake up your gifts of seeing, your gifts of hearing, your gifts of knowing, your gifts of feeling. We're going to wake them all up. This light is like the morning wake up call. We're going to wake up those gifts. So breathe in the light. Then we're going to breathe it out. We're going to let it wake up all the gifts inside of you. Waking up, waking up, waking up all the way down to the tips of your toes. And this final breath, so we do 3 breaths. This final breath actually goes all the way down to your toes, and then it's going to create a shield of light around you. So I believe that if we're shielded, we feel safer in being open to receive. Safety is one of the biggest pieces in receiving. If you feel safe, you're open to receive. So we place a shield of light around us to create that safety and protection. So we're going to breathe the light in. We're going to breathe it all the way down our bodies, all the way to the tips of your toes. And you're going to see the light exit the tips of your toes. It's going to move up and around your body. And then it's going to seal back up at your toes. It's going to seal it up. And it's going to be an added form. It's going to be a protector. It's going to infuse your body with light. It's going to activate your light. It's going to insulate you with light. So just breathing in. So just notice the difference, how you feel right here, right now. We've cleaned out your system. We've activated your gifts, and now we've shielded you. So the second part is that we call in all of our spiritual team, our board of directors. So if you've read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he shares this idea of having a board of directors. He has like Abe Lincoln on his board. He pulls in all of the greatest minds that ever lived and invites them to participate with him in creating his business. Napoleon Hill is one of the brightest minds, one of the most successful entrepreneurs of his time. This is the practice that he did. So I use this practice and I call in all of my angels and all of my guides. And then sometimes I think of people who did live, who would be extraordinary on my board of directors, who would help me build the work that I'm here to build. We're going to call them in. So we're just going to call in all of our angels, our guides, those who are here to support our work, those who have deep love for us, who are here to support us as humans, those who have passion and purpose in building our work with us. It's like those whose messages match our messages, who are here to help us build this work. We're going to call them all in and through the divine light. This is a very important piece for me, calling them in and through that light. And then we invite them to be with us right here. So right now, we're just going to invite them to hold this space. This space will be a space of activation. This space will be a space of healing, a space of light. But when I'm working, I give them assignments. So I ask them, all right, I need 30 minutes to be open for me to finish writing a chapter today. I need help getting right. Like, these are just things I need. I need a full 2 hours today to finish my book. So I'm going to invite my angels to just hold open 2 hours today so I can finish writing the last little bit of my book. And then I also need help getting my son into this certain high school. So I'm going to ask that my angels will open the pathways, that if it's in his highest good, that he gets into this high school. So do you see how like we get to actually like work with them, ask for support, ask for help. And this is the magic in my life. I couldn't raise 5 kids and run a publishing house and masterminds and all the things that I do if I didn't have my spiritual team. Like, they are the support system of my life. So I really want you guys to play with that today. Like, call in your angels and ask for the help you need. You can ask for this, what feels so silly. It's not silly. Like, it's important to you. So if you need help opening up space and time for you to be able to go to the grocery store because you just have a jam-packed day but you need food for your kids, like, ask that space will be opened. There's nothing too silly to ask for help with, especially from your spiritual team. They are here waiting. They're literally like waiting at your dinner table, like, give me some jobs, because they love you, they support you, and they wait for you to ask. All right. So this is a big part of the creative sacred process, is calling in our spiritual team, our board of directors, and then asking for their support. So when I'm channeling right here with you guys every single morning, I call them in and I ask that they will help bring the book through. So that's the assignment. That's the request that I'm asking for in that moment. But know that this can be for everything. I mean, side note, right? Like, I have 5 kids, do all these things. And to think of what to cook for dinner is like the worst. Do you guys feel that? Do you guys feel that? Like, really coming up with an idea for dinner? Like, if someone just told me what to cook every day, I'd feel really good. So a lot of the times when I'm in a pinch, I just ask my angels to show me, like, what is something I can cook for dinner really quick. And it's like I just see the ingredients in my mind. I know exactly what to cook, and I'm able to just bring it through. Nothing's too silly, right? That supports me. That supports my family. That's a huge relief in my body. Ask for the things that you need. You'll see it show up. So that's the next piece of the creative sacred process, is calling in your spiritual team. The final piece. And to me, this is the magic as well. Maybe the most magic is prepping your body to receive. So just before you work out, what do? You prep your body. You stretch your calves. You stretch your hamstrings. We have this, like, you know, before I get on this show with you guys, I prep my body. I take a shower. Like 30 minutes ago, I was like in my PJs with my glasses on, right? I prep before I come here. We prep all the time for activities. We prep our bodies. That's what we're doing here. We're prepping your body to receive. All right. So what I do is I ask that light will touch my ears, that I may spiritually hear what needs to be heard. This is important because I want to hear what What does the divine have to teach me today? I want to hear what needs to be heard. Then I ask that light will touch my third eye. They'll have access to all of my spiritual gifts. I want all of the gifts woken up. Let's bring them all up. Let's bring them all to the table. Let's have this party. Let's bring them all the way up. Then I ask that light will cleanse my lips so I speak only what needs to be spoken. For me, this is very important because I only want to say what's in everyone's highest good. I really want to speak what is the most important to be spoken. Now, if I'm writing, I bless my arms and my hands. I ask that light will touch my arms and my hands, that they will be cleaned, that they will be vessels for me to write exactly what needs to be written. And you can bless all the chakras of your body. I have a whole video of this on YouTube on how I go through and clean and cleanse and activate every chakra in my body. But this is just the prep I do before I create. So this is a way to unblock the creator inside of you. So maybe you don't want to write a book. That's okay. You're a creator. What is it that you're here to create? Are you here to create podcasts? Are you here to create baby clothes? Are you here to create muffins? Like, what do you have inside of you that wants to be birthed? What do you have inside of you that is asking for you to create? This process, the full sacred creative process, I know this took us like 20 minutes because I'm explaining it. It only takes like 3 or less. When you do it top to bottom, the sacred creative process does not take a long time. So this is the process you can use every time you're going to create. It's always going to unblock you. And I see Amy, yes, I will post the link below to the YouTube video. I think I did it maybe 5 days ago. I have a morning prayer video and an evening prayer video I do every single day on YouTube. These videos are surprise videos. When I say that, that means before I get to my sacred tent, which I have on my back in my backyard, before I get there, I have no idea what I'm going to record. But I do the sacred creative process. I open up to receive, and every single video is different. And so I think it was like 5 days ago, I did one on how to activate all the chakras in your body. So I'll link that below, Amy. And then I have a masterclass on this, the sacred creative process. It's a free masterclass. It'll guide you through this again so you can watch it so that you guys can practice this, the entrance into channeling. Creation and channeling, they're like married, right? We all know what it's like to create from our minds. It gets messy. We feel like we're not doing it good enough. Like there's this whole thing that happens when we create from our minds. But when we can learn how to receive and create, that's where the miracles happen. That's when you get unblocked, and that's when creations flow through you. So why is it that when I work with people, they're able to write their books in a very quick amount of time? It's because we're unblocking the creator inside of them and allowing them to be in the vein and the flow of channeling and receiving. This is for all your creations. It works for books. I love books. Books change the world. This is the zone I like to play in. I have a publishing house. It makes sense. But it's for all creations, right? So I never podcast without the sacred creative process. I always do this process before I get on a live video. I always do this process before I coach. I always do this process before I have a hard conversation with somebody in my life. Let's prep to receive in all the different things, and then we stop being in our minds. We stop trying to get it right, and instead we just open up and we get to be vessels for whatever truth wants to come through. So this right here is the unblocking of the creator within, which is like, this is the vein. This is the momentum vein. This is the magic vein. This is the space where we actually go out and transform the world, because we're not trying to figure it out, right? So any questions on what we just dove into, other than I'll put those links below. My invitation is this. 1, oh, hello, Amma. So good to see you. So fun. Amma was on the morning show. I don't remember. Was it last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. Such a beautiful soul. So excited. She's writing her book. And this is the invitation today. 1, if you want to bubble your life with some magic, get into my YouTube videos in the mornings and the nights. The morning prayer videos are going to set your day up with so much light. The night videos are going to create a space of rest, and also it's going to activate your light. So just like, I want to share this before we pop off, is that most nights I don't want to go make the video, right? Like, I have really long days. I love my days, but they're long. They're full. They're very, very full. So by 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, I just want to go to bed, but I'm committed to making these videos. So I go out to my tent, and I'm so tired. I leave my tent after sitting there and receiving the message of the night, and I have full energy. These videos, receiving gives us energy, but what happens in these videos literally changes my full cellular makeup. So I'm inviting you guys to play in these videos because they're going to change your vibrations in such a magical way. I had someone DM me last week who said that she jumped in, did a video, and the next day she landed like 2 huge deals that she'd been praying about, really wanting to have happen. Like, we're playing in the realm of magic in these practices. Dive in, be with me. They're free. They're on YouTube. Let's create magic in your life. Let's unblock the creator inside of you, because as we unblock you, so many other people will be blessed, and you'll just be able to be in this magic. So my invitation is jump into those videos. I always link them in my stories, or just go subscribe on YouTube and you'll get them all the time. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this, Amy. So good. So good. And I want to just thank you guys for spending time with me. I didn't know what today was going to be since we didn't have a guest, but this was super fun. I hope it was helpful. And my second invitation is that you play with the sacred creative process today. Let's see if you can unblock the creator inside of you. Let's see if you can unblock the creator inside of you. And when you unblock the creator, let's see what magic unfolds. That feels really good. All right, so let's take a deep breath in, guys. Finding your feet. What does that mean? That means wiggle them. Bring your attention down to the bottom of your body. Bringing your light all the way up into your heart. We're going to soften the heart with this warmth of the sun. I love to use the sun. The sun is very powerful. So we're going to use the warmth of the sun. It's going to soften the heart. It's going to open up the heart all the way through the throat, all the way up through the crown of your head. And I want you to feel the vibrations in your body shift. That everywhere inside of your body feels more alive, feels more awake, and feels more creative. Let today be a day of creation. Let today be a day of miracles. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning on the morning show. Bye, guys.